Welcome to KrugmanDebate.com, your home for the Murphy-Krugman debate. I'm Bob Murphy. I have a PhD in economics from NYU, and I'm a strong believer in the Austrian theory of the business cycle. This theory says that the boom-bust cycles that we recognize in modern market economies are not the fault of pure capitalism, but in fact are the result of having a central bank artificially manipulate interest rates. During the boom period, when everyone thinks the economy is doing very well and there's this general feeling of euphoria, Austrians say that actually that's a false prosperity caused by artificially low interest rates, and that entrepreneurs are not correctly using society's scarce resources. They can get by for a few years while the times seem really good, but that's only because the entrepreneurs are making bad investments that are going to rear their ugly head down the road. Now, when the crash happens, the Austrians are going to say the government and the central bank don't need to interfere. They need to allow nature to take its course for resources to be reallocated to their proper niches in the economy. And that the very worst thing the central bank can do is to push interest rates down even more, trying to re-stimulate the boom. And if the federal government runs massive deficits, that just kicks the economy when it's already down, by taking scarce resources that the private sector needs and diverting them to political channels. Now, of course, the opposite of the Austrian view is the Keynesian view. The Keynesians, represented by Paul Krugman, Nobel laureate and famous blogger and columnist for the New York Times, the Keynesians say that a recession is caused because of insufficient aggregate demand. There's just not enough spending occurring in the economy. And so the solution, according to the Keynesians, is for the government to borrow and spend more, to boost spending back to what it needs to be in order to employ everyone in the economy. I have challenged Paul Krugman to a public debate on Austrian versus Keynesian business cycle theory, and I'm asking for your support. If you follow the links below, you'll learn all the details, but very briefly, the idea is that we have a public campaign to raise a big pot of money. Now, I don't get that money, Paul Krugman doesn't get that money. If Krugman debates me, what happens is that pot total gets sent to a food bank in New York City. So the idea is the bigger we can make that number, as of the making of this video it's about $60,000, the bigger we can get that total, the more pressure will be put on Paul Krugman to debate me. Because both Austrians and his supporters will say, why don't you take this punk Murphy? You think your theory is a lot better than his, right? So why don't you go ahead and debate him in public and have a nice fat check go to a food bank in New York City? There's one last thing you need to know. The way I've set up this campaign at the Point website, if you go and make your pledge on the link below, you'll see that your credit card does not get dinged unless Paul Krugman debates me. So there's no risk to you, there's no obligation on your part if the debate never happens. You make your pledge and nothing comes of it. The only time your pledge matters is if Krugman actually debates me, at which point the pledge you made will get dinged on your credit card and then the total will get sent in a check to the food bank in New York City. So if you want to see the Murphy-Krugman debate happen, to see Austrian versus Keynesian business cycle theory in a public forum, I encourage you to make a pledge and to send this link to your friends. Thanks a lot.